especially Nigerians in Nigeria, about the state of the system and infrastructures available. This reflection is brought about by one video clip that went viral in the last couple of days. It showed a portion of road between Kaduna and Abuja where it is claimed that snowflakes fell on the right side of the road and they shared it. And presently in Nigeria, we are experiencing the weather condition called aphelion, in which the air becomes chilly most of times of the day and it just drizzle a bit, but the weather becomes appreciably cold. And I perceive that in the northern part of the country, it is much colder, and in Jos, where we used to have temperatures going around 0 degrees Celsius, there might be snow there. So it just crossed my mind with the state of our infrastructures in Nigeria, with the erratic power supply, with very high cost of fossil fuel, very bad roads, majorly deplorable roads, non-insulated houses, poor heating system generally in our country, poor social safety net, weak systems, and the poor leadership. What gives? What will be the state of the nation? What will be the conditions of the people? We have erratic power supply where millions struggle to heat up their homes. Without reliable power supply, people will face extreme hypothermia. That is very serious cold condition, especially children and older adults, especially those sleeping indoors who don't have quality roof over their heads. Then we have the challenge of very cost of fuel supply presently. So heating systems in the home may be almost unpracticable. The poor condition of roads will make mobility extremely difficult. Then we have poor social network. So the safety net we have in the country is very, very poor, where we take care of the needy and the less privileged and the people that face it. Though we have NEMA, National Emergency Management Agency, but we can see their function, their effectiveness when we have just, I won't call it ordinary flood situation, which is the major natural disaster we face annually, that is flood. So we're looking at this just to check our state of preparedness for things like this. So the countries that normally face these challenges, they have reliable electric like Russia, Canada, Germany, France, Upper Great Britain, then Canada, Serbia, Germany. These countries that face extreme weather where the temperature goes well below 0 degrees Celsius, they're able to survive it because they have reliable electricity supply system, reliable heating system, and they're able to have insulated buildings against this weather challenge. They have effective emergency management infrastructures. Then we have winter-ready roads and road management equipment, like the vehicles that will be moving the snow out of. These things are prepared well ahead before the winter season sets in. Then we have very strong healthcare system and social support systems. Then the government plan months ahead to take care of these challenges. So the deeper lesson we are looking at here is that this scenario is our resilience able to cope with such a challenge. My name is Nisinuga Reflections, and I'm reflecting from Nigeria. No, Nigeria is a tropical nation. We live in the tropics. We are still in the tropics, where we have abundant sunshine all year round. There is no day in which we don't have some amount of sunshine. And the weather is relatively warm generally. So we have some cold. Like right now, we are experiencing what's called aphelion, in which the weather becomes cold. We have light drizzles. The intensity of the sun is not very high, but we still have sunshine. So we're just looking at the scenario because we are not appreciating this gift of nature. Though sometimes we talk about it, that we thank God that we are not experiencing this serious winter season that fellow humans are experiencing in the tropics, or in the temperate regions of the world. We are not experiencing tsunami and tornado. So we are enjoying abundant sunshine, ample rainfall. But that little one, are we prepared for it? Because we are in the rainy season now. So let's learn from these countries. Before the snow comes, they will have prepared how to so that people can still go to work. It's only in extreme conditions of snowfall and when temperature falls well below 12 degrees, sometimes Atlanta can go under by like -20. In that case, they still have something they still have to do. It doesn't stop their living. But if we have to experience something like that, that means children will not even go to school. Life will be brought to a standstill, and it's not supposed to be so. That is why this reflection is coming up, so that we wake up to these challenges, so that it doesn't catch us unawares. So right now, you wake up in the morning, just imagine this scenario. Like we're talking about Lagos, we never experienced snow at all. There's only one day some months back where we have heavy rainfall and we have snow blocks dropping from the sky, and that was only once. Maybe that won't happen once in 100 years or one in 200 years. But the weather still was not chilly. So, but how did we handle that? So we need to be well prepared for all these things. So instead of having sunshine, imagine you have snow all over the place. How do you navigate? How do you move? Then in that case, cars cannot move on the road. In that case, children will be to school. In that case, business will ground to a halt. And that is not what. You're welcome to Nisinuga Reflections. It's a channel that talks about things that are jamming to your well-being, to your joy, to your personal growth and development. We also talk about relationships here, issues that touch the heart, stories that touch the heart, and we work at educating ourselves. It's educational in focus. We educate ourselves to be able to learn about something and do some things to maintain our joy, to maintain our peace, to maintain our mental health, to maintain our sanity, to help us to be able to make the best out of this life. The focus is you have only one life, and you have the obligation to yourself to live it right. We also know that life is purposeful, and one of the best things you can do for yourself is to make your life to be positively adding values to yourself and to humanity. See what you can do to uplift, to upgrade, to make somebody happy, to add value to somebody's life. That is when you will enjoy being alive, being a human being. You are not here to exploit anybody. You are here to make the best. You are here to make an impact, to let everyone know. It's either you make people laugh, you make people to you act out in such a way that people can see a picture of themselves in you and what you do. You may be doing role playing, You may be casting, you may be producing some products that make life easier or more comfortable for people. Or you may be in service, sector service department, which are doing things to make life more enjoyable, more livable for people, isn't it? You can share your own comment. What do you feel is part of your purpose in this life? Is it to eat and drink, go to the seashore, go to the park, go to work and come back? What's the value of the work you do? What's the focus of the work you do? Are you just going to work because you know you have to work? No, you have to work because you enjoy what you're doing. I know that what you are doing is adding positive value to humanity, to life of others around you. In that case, you have something called fulfillment, and you are approaching what you call self-actualization. You can say, yes, I am doing something that people are appreciating. I'm doing something that is adding value one way or the other to somebody's life, maybe very close to you, or like on the internet now. Whatever you do, whatever you're producing is touching lives, and somebody is picking one or two things from what you're doing. Like this channel is supposed to be able to say one or two things that somebody can pick something from, share their own opinion, because life is about sharing. Nobody is the world of knowledge. We share knowledge. I learn from you, you learn from me. So we know that countries with harsh weathers are already aware of this, and they work assiduously to make sure they mitigate the impact of that season on the people. They make the best of it. And that is why people in the temperate world, they celebrate summer, because that's when they have sunshine. And during the winter, they also choose to make the best of it. And we learn from that. So what do we need to do, and what can we learn from this is the question. So countries like Norway, Sweden, what they do is that they make sure they have reliable power. So in our tropical world, do we have reliable power supply? And now that we are in this world of climate change, anything can happen. Like that one I gave now. I said, suppose those snowflakes did not just fall. It came in massive form and it lasted for about 1 week or 2 weeks or a month. What happens? What gives? Nigeria, what gives? Ghanaians, what gives? Togolese, what gives? Suppose you say, okay, snow, you can't tell nature what to do. You can't tell nature snow cannot fall here. Suppose snow comes, what do you do? How do you survive it? But if you have regular electric supply, people will still be able to mitigate. They can improvise heating system. Suppose the fuel supply is available, then they can still do so. But if there's no fuel for about, it's very expensive. They have cooking gas at home, they can heat water, they can do things, they open their home, they produce things. A lot can be done to heat up the home. But if these things are not available, what gives? So Nigeria enjoys the tropical climate, like I said earlier. And this is one of the greatest blessings we enjoy from nature, apart from many other resources that we enjoy. This climate is an extreme blessing that we enjoy. So nature has spared us so many stresses. So thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. And thank you for your comments. Adam, you're welcome. Like I said earlier, my name is Nisinuga Reflections. Okay. So let me know where you are reflecting with me from and share your comments. What is the climate like? What kind of climate are you enjoying now? What's the weather like in your nation, in your country now? Share. But here we have what is called aphelion. Aphelion is the condition in which the weather becomes extremely cold, more than ever before. because at this particular point in time, the earth is very, very far, is the farthest from the sun. So that's what brings the coldness of the weather. They cannot compare to the coldness of snow. That was just saying, and we just got a report, though it's not been officially confirmed, that in some parts of the middle belt of Nigeria, some snowflakes fell from the sky. And somebody showed the video and said, suppose, what if it's not just a small portion, suppose it is just like the rainfall, we just have heavy snow dropping because of climate change in Lagos, Nigeria, or in Abuja. What will life be? How will we be able to manage the situation? So the way to prepare for it is for us to make sure we do the needful. To mitigate any of this is let's work on the electricity supply. Let's work on the cost of fossil fuel. Let's work well on our road networks. Let's work well on social service infrastructures. Let's work well on emergency management agencies and equipment. Now, the major challenge we have in Nigeria is flooding. It's been over the years. All you need to do, you know the path this flood will normally take. What will it cost you to create adequate drainage system? We just see they just did small, like what you call fire brigade approach. This is not rocket science. Create appropriate functional channel wide enough to take, this flood. Okay, suppose the flood this year is much more than ever before. What kind of channel? So the engineers will do engineering work, working with the weather station. Then you create that. Then we talk about, okay, during the rainy season, the water in the dams, because we have some dams like Kanji Dam in Nigeria, then there's another one in Cameroon that because the dam will have too much volume of water than it can sustain. They need to open part of the dam to let off some of the water. In this case, if care is not taken, the water released will now overflood lands and farms and so on. But if you know that this water will be released at a particular period, what's the common sense thing? Create outlets for this water. The volume can be estimated. That is what this reflection is all about. Please share your comments and let's know your thoughts and your suggestions for Nigeria and for African nations. Tomorrow, we shall be looking at what is the problem with South Africa. South Africa is, from information on the net and the social media, is that some of the citizens have been saying Africans should leave their nation because they are adding to the unemployment rate, they are taking over the few available jobs and so on. If we start to do that, what will be their own condition? Like in Nigeria, we have so many South Africans and we have some of them having some companies and of industries. Suppose we close them down, say, well, we want it. So that is what is happening, and we don't want that. That's why we have United Nations. All the nations have to unite. We have to interrelate. That's why developed nations and developing ones, they open their doors. They only make sure you have safety net to monitor the incoming migrants. Thank you for reflecting me once again. So we'll meet again tomorrow to discuss more about this. God bless you.